Well, good morning YouTube. My name is Fleming Matthew, and in this video we're going to talk about a new announcement that has just recently come up on the website USMLE.org. And the announcement says that USMLE is suspending Step 2 clinical skills examination for a period of next 12 months to 18 months. So no Step 2 CS from now on. And in this video I'm going to provide you with what I think about this new change and how is it going to affect us IMGs. So when I dug a little deeper into how this exam actually came to be, well, I noticed that Step 1 was introduced in 1992 and Step 2 CS was introduced later, as in 12 years later down the line, and it was introduced in the year 2004. And when it was introduced, it received widespread criticism from the American medical graduates. And the main points that that received the flack was the fees was too high, and there was this need to travel to only those 5 allocated states in the United States of America, and then they also said that there was a discrepancy between the cost and the actual benefit that they received from introducing this Step 2 CS examination. So for this reason, what they did was they made this committee named CEUP, the full form of which is the Committee to Evaluate the USMLE Program. And when it looked into the matter, it concluded that even though the Step 2 CS is actually good for evaluating the students worldwide, but it would actually benefit from including new techniques to test the skills of the test takers. Now, down the line in 2013, a paper was published in the new NEJM, and it raised the concerns again over the value of the exam. And in 2016, the students from Harvard, Michigan, and Massachusetts, they all came forward. They launched some petitions all in favor of taking down this exam altogether. So there has been this collective criticism against CS, and now that it has been put on hold, we are all in dark as to how we have to proceed towards our journey of actually getting a residency in US. Because of this pandemic situation right now, we are all in a situation of stress. And in this video, I'm going to rationalize our way into logic and hope rather than falling into the clutches of anxiety. So Step 2 CS tests you on 3 things. The first is ICE, the full form of which is Integrated Clinical Examination. Second, it tests you on CIS, that is Communication and Interpersonal Skills. And the third is SEP, Spoken English Proficiency. Now, if we were to think, if we are an IMG and if we had to prove without giving Step 2 CS that if we had given the Step 2 CS, we would have actually passed it. Well, if we want to look at that way, the third part, that is the SEP, Spoken English Proficiency. Well, if you were to give TOEFL, and TOEFL is an American exam which tests you for the proficiency of how well you know English, how well you communicate, as well as read and understand. Well, if you had a good TOEFL score, then it would actually replace the SEP part of the Step 2 CS examination, that is the Spoken English Proficiency. As far as the ICE and the CIS comes, the Integrated Clinical Examination, and the Communication and Interpersonal Skill comes, if you have already taken your electives or observerships, then very well you would know how to conduct a clinical examination with respects to the American system, and as well as you must have developed an interpersonal skills, and all of these skills will be reflected in your letter of recommendation that you may get from your electives. And if you are like me who hasn't had a chance to pursue their electives, then I guess the visas or the VSLO the program of VSLO just opened a day ago on 26th, and I did not have the chance to open the VSLO, but I did notice the mail that I received. They said that many opportunities have come up regarding tele-rotations or virtual rotations. So maybe tele-rotations will replace electives and observerships for the time to come, maybe for 1 year or 1.5 years. Till then, instead of getting electives, they would have to focus on gaining our clinical skills, as well as developing our interpersonal skills through the tele-rotations. So if you still feel that you are at a disadvantage, and let this fact seep in that just like you, everyone else, this rule affects everyone else. If you have not given the Step 2 CS, no one will be able to give the Step 2 CS from now onwards. And now, if you think that you have not given Step 2 CS and you would want to go forward and sit for match this year, and you would think that well, many people have already given this step to CS and passed it. For that, what I am rationalizing right now is I assume that the US system is very professional when it comes to judging between two students, and I don't think the preference will be given to a student with CS who has passed CS over the people who have not been able to sit for the exam, because the CS pass percentage for the average American medical graduate is over 95%, and for the average IMG it has it has always stayed between 74 to 75%. So 3 out of 4 students who actually sit for step 2 CS exam actually pass it. So you can't just assume, you can't look at a person without the step 2 CS scores and then just assume that he may be inferior to a person who has passed the step 2 CS examination, and that is strictly how I am looking at it. And you may obviously choose to differ, but then I said that if you have the TOEFL scores, if you have rotated at good places, or if you have had telemedical rotations and you have developed your interpersonal skills, and you know how to conduct an integrated clinical examination, then I think you are good to go. And all over, if you are like me and you are going to apply next year and you're going to sit for the match next year, then I think again the step 1 scores and the step 2 CK scores trumps everything. You need to bank upon a good letter of recommendations, and maybe it's a time to reconsider that maybe we will have to eventually take up telerotations. I don't know what will happen, but I guess like the blog said that over the course of period, USMLE will come forward and tell you what all changes are to be made and how are they going to replace the step 2 CS examination and provide new provisions to replace it. So that's about all, and thanking you again for this chance, and have a great day ahead and stay safe in this period of pandemic. Thank you.